Hello, my name's John Dexter and welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell to see future videos. It's a cold and wet morning here in Dorset, but the forecast says it's going to get a bit better later, so I haven't been out for a while, so I thought I'd get out and get a bit of fresh air if nothing else. Now, I'm sure you have the same problem that coming up with new compositions is never easy. But what you have to remember with ICM photography is what makes a good composition for traditional photography doesn't always work with ICM, and a composition that you wouldn't normally take sometimes reveals some really nice images. So you just have to get out there and wiggle the camera around a bit and see what you come up with. But I thought I'd pop down to a place called White Mill in Kingston Lacey, Dorset. And there's a bridge down there by the river that I've actually photographed traditionally before, but never in ICM, so I thought I'd give it a bit of a go. But this is a video about a bit of a problem I've got and why this image actually took me 2 days to get. Okay, so we've arrived at White Mill, gone through the gate into the field. It's a bit boggy underfoot and you've got to watch the cowpats as well, but we're just coming up to the river by the bridge. There you see it. It's quite a lovely setting actually. As I say, I have photographed this traditionally before but never in ICM. I think I'll probably get the 16 to 35mm lens out, give that a go, see what it produces and go from there. So let's get the camera out and give it a bit of a wiggle, see what we can come up with. I've got the 16 to 35mm lens on here. I did try some longer lenses during the day, but they didn't really work. I think this was about the best. It's got a 6-stop neutral density filter on it, which is giving me a shutter speed of about ½ second to 1 second, which is just about right. Now, the trick with abstract photography is you don't want too much detail in the image, but you don't want it too blurred. So it's a bit of a juggling act to get it right. I'm pressing the shutter button and holding the camera still for an absolute split second just to give me that little bit of detail, but it is literally trial and error. You've just got to try holding the camera still for different lengths of time, flicking it around different directions until you get something that works. Now you will find that all the images look absolutely wonderful on the back of the camera, but trust me, when you get back to the computer, most of them will be absolute trash. I think I took about 400 plus images of this bridge that day, so please don't think that you're gonna go out there and take a dozen images and have a good one, because trust me, you won't. So I'm back at the computer now, looking through just over 400 images that I took of White Mill the other day, and unfortunately there's nothing there that really sort of jumps out at me as being a good final image, which I'm afraid is typical of ICM photography, and it's just something you've got to live with, I'm afraid. But I'm going to show you a few examples of where it went wrong, why they went wrong, to give you some clue as to what you've got to do to hopefully end up with a final image that you're happy with. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you is this. For my taste, this has got far too much detail in it. In fact, it's just like a badly taken photograph, really. And where I went wrong here is after pressing the shutter button, I held the camera still too long before moving it, which has given me far too much detail, and it's not the look that we're after. Now this one is quite the opposite. I didn't hold the camera still long enough before moving it, which has basically blurred everything out, and there's no detail in there at all. Now what's happened here is, by moving the camera, I've picked up the sky and dragged it down into the image, which basically has just sort of blotted everything out. But this is a sort of example of the sort of stuff you get from ICM photography, and this is why you just have to keep taking image after image, trying different things, and hopefully at the end of it you will get an image that works for you. So here lies the problem that I have, which I mentioned to you earlier, is I went there and took over 400 images of this bridge, and none of them worked. So in my heart I know there is an image to be had there, and my problem is that I can't rest until I get it. So consequently I went back the following day and took another 250-300 shots of this bridge, in the hope that I get that one. So I come back to the computer and have a look at the images that I've retaken, and I wheedle it down to about 3 or 4 that I think may have potential, but eventually I end up just with the one, which is this one, and I know what I want this image to look like. So I spend about sort of 2 hours on it, trying to sort of tweak it to make it the image that I finally want, and it just isn't working for me. It's just not going the way I want it to. So I sort of think, well, you know, maybe there isn't an image there, and I sort of give up on it, which unfortunately with ICM happens quite a lot. But I went and had my tea and watched a bit of telly, and about 2 hours later at 8 o'clock at night I thought, I know that there is a good image there. So I had to sort of go back on the computer, and within half an hour of having that break I managed to make the image that I wanted, and this is it. So I hope you've enjoyed this little journey through how I got this final image, and I hope it's inspired you to get out there and give ICM a go, because it is a lot of fun, although sometimes it can be very frustrating. So thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell for future videos, and make a comment if you like below. Many thanks. This is John Dexter. Bye for now.